October 4th, 1992. A quiet Sunday evening in Amsterdam. But at 6:35 p.m., the peaceful sky turned into a nightmare. A Boeing 747, one of the most powerful aircraft ever built, began to fall from the sky. Within seconds, homes vanished, flames erupted, and hundreds of lives changed forever. This is the story of El Al Flight 1862, one of aviation's most shocking and mysterious disasters. El Al Flight 1862 was a Boeing 747 cargo jet, the jumbo of the skies. It took off from Amsterdam's Schiphol Airport, bound for Tel Aviv, Israel. On board were 3 crew members and 1 security officer, just 4 people in total. The aircraft was carrying tons of cargo: electronics, perfumes, chemicals, a routine freight mission for Israel's national airline. But just 9 minutes after takeoff, disaster struck. As the aircraft climbed through 6,500 feet, a loud bang echoed through the cockpit. The pilots saw warning lights flash across the panel. Moments later, the first officer radioed, "El Al 1862, we have a fire in engine number 3. But it wasn't just an engine fire. Both engine number 3 and number 4 had broken off completely. They didn't just fall, they ripped away, tearing through hydraulic lines and the wing structure. The right side of the aircraft was crippled, and control became almost impossible. Despite this, Captain Yitzhak Fuchs remained calm. He declared an emergency and turned the aircraft back toward Schiphol Airport. His voice over the radio stayed composed. But inside that cockpit, chaos was unfolding. For 6 long minutes, the crew fought to keep the giant 747 in the air. The aircraft was rolling heavily to the right, almost uncontrollable. The captain reported, "We have problems with number 3 and number 4 engines. We're returning to Schiphol." Air traffic control cleared them to land. But as the plane approached, it began losing speed and control. The right wing dropped lower and lower. At 6:35 p.m., the final transmission came. Going down, going down. El Al 1862. Seconds later, the massive aircraft plunged into the Bijlmermeer neighborhood of Amsterdam. It slammed into 2 high-rise apartment buildings, erupting into a fireball that lit up the night sky. Over 40 people were killed, including all 4 crew members. Dozens were injured, and hundreds left without homes. It became one of the worst air disasters in Dutch history. Investigators worked tirelessly to find out what went wrong. They discovered that the engines didn't fail because of fire. They had detached due to a tiny metal fatigue crack in a component called a pylon fuse pin. When one engine broke off, it struck the other, tearing both away and destroying the right wing's systems. This small defect exposed a serious design flaw that had existed in many Boeing 747s. After the crash, every 747 around the world was inspected, preventing possible future disasters. But the story didn't end there. Years later, controversy grew around what the plane was carrying. Reports revealed that small quantities of chemicals, used as precursors for nerve gas, were on board, legally shipped to Israel for research. It sparked anger and fear among residents, many of whom suffered health issues for years after the crash. Today, the Bijlmermeer community still remembers that dark evening. At the crash site stands a memorial called The Tree That Saw Everything, a living reminder of loss, resilience, and remembrance. The tragedy of El Al Flight 1862 reminds us that even the smallest part of a machine can change the course of countless lives. May the victims rest in peace. If you found this story moving, subscribe to Sky Dominance Official for more true aviation stories. and support the channel on Patreon. patreon.com/c/Sky Dominance Official. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe in the skies.